Hi.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, what a cool office space.
Oh, thank
I,
you. I
I've
love
never
your
seen it
kitchen.
before.
I know you haven't. Wow, you've never
Hey,
been
thanks.
here.
And I haven't been there. Um,
No.
well, thanks for agreeing to this interview. Um,
Hmm.
I, including many others in the church, have been interested in your past circus life prior to moving to Dallas.
Yeah.
So, kind of to ease us into it, how did you fly into the world of
Oh
trapeze?
my.
Full pun intended.
So,
Pretty good,
okay.
huh?
Yeah, that was not bad. That was not bad. Um, well, I think I first heard about the circus when I was studying abroad for my first year of university. And obviously, at that time, we weren't able to actually do any of the main campus activities because we were abroad. And one of the people that was there, one of the students, was actually a part of the FSU circus. And something that I want to note before I continue is that Florida State University is one of two collegiate circuses in the nation. So there are only two universities that actually have a university-led circus program. So that's obviously very rare. It's something that a lot of people not don't hear about, and I was included in that. So when I found somebody on our study abroad trip that actually had experience in our school's circus, I
Yeah.
was extremely interested. So when I got back, um, I think that's when my interest in it really soared. Flying.
Oh
Ah,
my god.
ah.
So it's gonna be that kind of interview.
You started it. No, but that's when my interest was like super peaked because I actually got to see the circus. I got to see the three ring tent. It felt
Mhm.
very, very nostalgic to when I would go to the circus with the family, see like the Barnum and Bailey circus or Ringling Brothers, whatever. And I wanted to try it out. So you go through this rigorous tryout period where there's a multiple callbacks, and they measure a bunch of different feats, whether it's strength or agility or flexibility. Those are all taken into consideration along with your like class schedule. So that's how
Wow.
it really got started for me. I was just extremely interested in the process and the niche thing that it was being in the circus.
Yeah. And I think it's cool that it sounds like it was really, really structured, right? It's not something that
Yeah.
um a student gathered on Facebook, like, okay, let's create this Facebook group and then we'll do it on our own time. It was really worked in your schedule, which I think is
Oh,
really cool.
absolutely. Yeah, and that's a just to expand upon that. It was, yes, sponsored by the school. It was a part of Florida State University, but all of the ticket sales are what actually generated all the funds for this circus. So we had full-time staff that
Mhm.
were there to coach us. We had full-time
Oh my
staff to,
gosh.
yeah, to be the people to organize all the events, to curate the outfits, to do the sound and all everything. However, when
Hmm.
it came to the students' participation, we were everything. So we were in the cast in multiple different acts. We were the ushers. We were the people doing concession stands. If we weren't in the show, um, we were everything. And so uh, it was two parts. It was definitely student led for sure. Like this was an absolute gathering of interested and talented people. Um, but then on the other side of this thing, we did have a structured program to it. We couldn't have done it without the coaches. We couldn't have done it without the participation of the students and being involved in every little intricate part of what actually builds the show.
Hmm. And that's important. I mean, then it's not like someone was just sitting on the sidelines or being, benched or whatever.
Yeah,
Okay. And
yeah,
how
absolutely.
many how many years were you in it?
I was in it for 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, in those 3 years, what would you say was the most important factor when it came to carrying out the stunts? Is it strength? Is it timing?
Mm. Um, I think it's partnership. I really think it's the teamwork that you build throughout the time, trying to make these tricks work. Yes, of course,
Hmm.
timing is everything, and strength plays a key part in this, as well as flexibility, and stamina. But at the end of the day, I really think it is just the members of your team working together to pull it off together. I mean, there's tricks that you can't do on your own, that need a separate set of hands to actually propel you or to catch you.
Yeah.
So I would say teamwork is the most important factor.
Okay, that's really cool. And did you ever have a life or death experience while like performing live? I ask this because like a month ago I watched this movie, and one of the main characters was about to do a stunt. They were doing trapeze, and the villain was on the other side about to just fly right into them. And the whole time the audience is like cheering. They think it's part of the act, right? Because they assume that going according to plan. You're
Sure.
professionals.
Yeah.
And if
Right.
you're in a dangerous position you shouldn't be in, they're still going to be there clapping and cheering you on. Did you ever experience anything like that?
Yeah, so there was definitely some times that I had fallen, that I had messed up, or missed my grip or whatever it may be. And the show must go on. So
Mm-hmm.
one of my acts was called low casting. It was a trapeze based clown act, if you will. So um, low casting is a lower to the ground, no net trapeze act, just mats below you. And so it had this funny element to it. So if we did mess up, we were actually able to play it off like we meant to do that. We meant to fall. That was important.
Yeah.
One of the tricks that I would do is I would be swinging on the bar, and I would actually throw myself off and land on my stomach or my pelvis area, and roll around the stand that we use to jump off, and then fall on my face. And
Yeah.
so it was a really scary event, because like you could actually really hurt yourself, obviously
Yeah.
falling from a pretty substantial height at like a pretty big speed if you don't catch yourself right. However, there are times where I'm supposed to do like a backflip or whatever, and try to catch myself on another hanging bar. And if I miss, I land on my face, or I land on my neck, and that's really, really scary.
Yeah.
But then you get to play it off. And so most of the time, the cast really doesn't know, or the audience really doesn't know, um, what is real and what's not, what's meant to be there, and what's a mistake. There was actually one show where I did one of those moves that was supposed to, like, it was intentionally to mess up, and I'll never forget. It was a it was probably like my crowning achievement that I knew I did a good job. Um, I was uh, I did that like a flip thing that I was describing earlier, and one of the audience members had stood up ready to like jump down and like help me out, because he was like a doctor of sorts. Like he actually thought that I hurt myself. It was definitely a crowning achievement. I had another act called Quartet Adagio, where we are literally throwing a smaller girl up into the air, doing flips and whatever. And there are moments where if you don't catch her, she could really, really hurt herself. Um, and there's this one act that, or there's this one trick that we do in Quartet Adagio where um, we have one person holding the wrists of a girl, the
Mm-hmm.
other person holding the ankles of her, kind of holding her like a hammock kind of thing.
Okay.
And we end up spinning her around as if she was a jump rope. And we have a
Oh
third
my
person come
gosh.
in and jump in between her, like literally doing a jump rope with a little girl. And I mean, if you mess up your jump, hit her, whatever, stomp on her, like it could be like a really, really
That's a
painful.
lawsuit. Yeah.
Yeah, for real. So, no, there's definitely moments that I have personally experienced, and then have seen, witnessed,
Mhm.
where it is extremely dangerous. But I was lucky enough to never experience anybody breaking a bone. Definitely like fracturing something or like bruising something so that they can't perform anymore. But life or death, maybe not.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that story was still exciting, even though no one was close to dying. Well, kind of. Get close to getting hurt. um, well, cool. Thank you so much for sharing your trapeze experience with us.
Yeah, of course. It was definitely really, really fun. And if you guys are interested in uh, doing any kind of circusy stuff, there is a company here in Dallas, in the Louisville area, that's posted up, and they will teach you how to do it, some little trapeze act. And it's really, really impressive. I've
Oh
worked
my
with them a
God.
couple times, and they're great people.
You've been holding us till now,
I
huh?
know, you're
This
right.
really cool thing. Okay, okay.
I've been
Well,
holding
good
out.
to know. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. And I hope you stay safe
Thank you, you
and
too.
do well. All right,
Bye,
bye.
Lee.